point of the school is a doing application, a practical approach to art for living. And so this is what happens. I wake up and you have access to my life. In fact, 5 minutes before I wake up, if you call me, you have access to my life. Anytime you have access to my life. It's an open source way of living. And I don't think that people can take advantage of me. Because I'm doing. I'm giving it. Take it. There's such richness in exchange. And so each day there will be 3 or 4 workshops. Sometimes it'll be a social experiment. Sometimes it'll be a performance. Sometimes it'll be a maker workshop where we'll participate. Sometimes we'll generate content. And one of them is open world theatre. So open world theatre I run on Mondays and Sundays. And basically that's just about being present. It's unacting. It's the ability to hold space. Not only not assume a character or narrative, but remove the character narrative you're walking around with every single day. To be aware of what is, to feel, to anticipate, to surrender. And it's, I guess, performance art, a lot of movement, raw shit. That's what it is. And that's learning what is, what's in the room, what smells, what tastes, what touch, what's the connection. The other one's people soup, which some of you might be aware of because I've been running a performance night about this, but also it's going to become a workshop on Sundays and a creative studio of characters on Wednesdays. So we can actually generate content. This is unlearning what can be. We've learned what can be. It's time to take off all those assumptions and actually now experience it anew. And be anything. You can be anything. You can mock up and destroy any kind of identity at will at any moment. If you were to wake up tomorrow with complete amnesia, you'll create another you just fine without knowing where you were born and what clothes you wear and which guy or girl you kissed and what awards you got. Just story. Just story. Those stories can be generated because we're artists. And so, People Soup explores what can be through voice, acting, makeup, costume, a whole bunch of cool fun stuff. Then there's maker workshops, which is unlearning what you can do. This is all about practical stuff. It's about opening televisions. It's about the hack-out ethos, the do-it-yourself hip-hop attitude of use what you have, do what you can, start where you are. Just do it. Open stuff. Look inside. Tweak stuff. Learn by doing. These are the maker workshops. I think they're on definitely Saturday mornings, and then I believe Wednesdays and maybe Mondays. There is an online calendar which I'll give you all this. Creative response. This one is definitely part of the revolution. This is on Fridays. This is unacceptance. All these sort of things that we accept, this is about unaccepting them because it's not right and we can do something about it and we're damn clever and we have access to enough open source technologies, whether it be agricultural or energy, transport, communications, all these sort of things, that we can actually do something about it. And various things don't suit those who have power and those who benefit from the current broken systems, and so they try and edge them out. But slowly, we're getting in there. People like Elon Musk, who having the Tesla cars and the big sun batteries and going into space and all this stuff. That's the one cool thing about capitalism, is that it took away the feudal system, and you don't have to be a king, you don't have to be the bloodline. Any dude, he started PayPal, now he's a billionaire, and he's building rockets in outer space. Thank you! That's awesome, that's really cool. So capitalism has some good parts, and that's one of them. So what we do this on this Friday thing is we come together, we raise awareness about problems. It's our creative response. Take something that's happening and make something beautiful. Because we as artists have a power with the potency of our communication. That poetry I talked about, we infuse it with everything. Because it means something to us, and then people are willing to listen. It's not a speech, it's not a long text document, it's art, and it makes people feel. So on Fridays we get together, we look at problems, and have a creative response, and put it out as art, as poetry, as a movie, as a painting, as a dance, whatever you want. We also design solutions. People like Jacques Fresco, who has the Venus Project in Florida, he's designing ways that, simple things, using grey water from your shower to flush your toilet, or ways of having gardens in your house, and all these kind of cool things. Like, they're ongoing. Futurists are doing great things. Jason Silver and people like that are really inspiring with their solutions or their look at the problem that can really revolutionize the current system. So I want to design solutions and just put them out there. And then, get them funded or all that sort of stuff, but at least have a response. At least don't accept what currently is. This one probably isn't for everybody, but superhero school, about 2 or 3 times a week. Get together and unlearn preservation. It's not about trying to stay young or not get scars or just keep the relationship you're in or keep my job and no. evolve, change, just reach out, have those neural pathways, the new things you haven't done before. Reach out into the unknown, into the darkness. Luke Skywalker, cave, blackness, Darth Vader, new things. And go there, look at the fear, and activate evolution. So there's this concept I have that, I don't know, there's so many sciences. One concept of the brain is that every time you have a new idea or have a new experience, a new neural pathway is created. That may or may not happen. But I like the concept that when you try something new, this new branch is going. And we may not benefit directly, but imagine us every week we got together and tried to fly. We got up, we flapped our arms, we imagined the sky, we tried to levitate. And after a few generations, maybe enough networks build a networks, maybe our grandchildren will be like, thanks, Nana. Yeah, could happen. So basically, the superhero school is about actually sitting, it's kind of a meditative practice about trying to look through a wall. There's a cool school in India, a happiness school, something like that, with blindfolding kids, and they're sorting coloured cards out, something about intuition and touch. Like, these things are happening, and I want a piece of it. I want to do it. So let's try and do that. That's the idea of the superhero school, a couple times a week. Activate evolution. Public playgrounds. On Tuesdays and Saturdays, I'm going out into the streets. I really think that the public space is one of the most vital spaces there are. In our domestic setting, we understand people intimately, we love them. Then there's that kind of thing in mankind. What's that kind of, I'm part of this club, don't really know what's it about. The public space is this kind of weird in between where it's one-on-one, there's big strangers, there's massive amounts of people, and yet we feel like, oh, is it okay to sit here? Where's the white nose? Let's go home to the place I know. I want to reactivate them as public playgrounds. Let's witness each other. Let's normalize the human condition. Not just like Facebook selfies, like, this is what it's like to be human. That's not like that. Let's show each other what it's really like. Be ugly, There's that nice quote, you have to be ugly before you can be beautiful. And you can't always be good if you're going to be great. So let's show the bad, let's have the broken ribs, whatever it is. Go through that process together in public and play. Have fun. Sometimes when things get important, you have to be serious. You get really solid, you get really stuck. I took my dad to the top of the cliff, and we walked over this abyss, and we went up this amazing view. As we were coming back, he was on his little edge, and he was like, ah! And I was like, Dad, you have to loosen up. Because right now it's important that you're playful. If you hold on, you get really serious, you get really heavy, you might actually die. So I want to have play, even when it matters, even when you're against you, even when the person might judge you, even when what, play. Because that's when the human capacity is increased. We're fluid, we're genius, we're spontaneous. Jazz musicians understand this. Freestyle poets understand this. Surfers understand this. When you interact with nature enough or art enough, you get the idea of this flow state. That's what play is. And so I want to actually build these signs and put them up. Because it's just space. If someone with a lot of money can put one up, I can put one up too. And I just say it's reactivated for public use as a playground. So that's kind of what I do. And I'm actually going to be building little art machines, little interfaces, little helmets you look at, there's someone else and you talk. That's my game, is creating interfaces to enable and facilitate interplay between people. So that's what we're going to do twice a week. Then this one's really cool as well. Evolve. It's love spelled backwards, but it sounds a bit like evil. Yeah. But basically, this is a social experiment game. Live your art, play your life. This is a game which takes place out in the city. It's just us. I don't even know what's going to happen, but the game itself has to evolve. But it's about us going together into a place and using life. We'll make up a point system. I don't know, it's like arriving on a playing field and someone picks up an ape and goes, oh, this is going to be a ball. So we go, I'll make the goals over here and we'll make it up. I don't know. But at the moment, it's just go out into life and meet new people. What I want to try and do is expand each day. So meet someone you haven't met before, learn something that you didn't know before, or go somewhere you haven't been before. Easy. Expand. And then do something that you're good at as well. Because it's scary and a bit cumbersome always to be learning to walk every single day. Do something you just rock out at. Play guitar, sing, play video game, whatever, you smash that. Do that every day as well. And witness someone else doing what they smash too. So if someone's a surfer, just watch them and like acknowledge them. You're smashing that. Or if you live with other people, do it for each other. All right, I'm really good at this. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah. All right, my turn. I'm really good at this. And witness each other. Because it's really nice. Not that we need the applause or appreciation, but it does feed us, and it's a really lovely thing. And often where attention is, energy and money and all those sort of things flow. So we can actually help build that through attention. So that's all it is. Those things I listed, which I'll outline later as well. But that's the idea of evolve, and it's going to become, it's a happening, it's a living art form, it's a way of having fun. So, in closing, school. And I'm sure at some point someone's going to say, I'm going to say a cult, I don't know. I have been called the Art Jesus, so sorry about that. But no, it's not, I guess, I think society is a cult. If there's any cult, society is the biggest motherfucking cult there is. You're born into it, you don't even get a choice. And as soon as you can open your eyes, they're putting like books and words, and then your parents are telling you can go, don't put that down, out, put it, what are you doing? Oh, I'm going to get a chuck. That's what I look at. What? And then you go to school, and it's like, this is right, this is wrong. Did you remember? Did you remember? I don't know, wrong! And then you go and you try to like, go out with people and like, oh, is this a cool move? I can't remember this. And then you realize, oh, my parents aren't God anymore, but then you get another God with your boss. You said, oh, hi, bravo, I've done lots of good things, I can be a real asset to your company. And then after that, you're in a marriage, and there's so many freaking, it's a cult. If you don't get the money, then you're homeless and you're dangerous, and so you've got to kind of get these little coupons, you've got to move shit around. And, I just want to be here, I want to build a house. You can't build a house here, it's a communal land, or like Aboriginal people getting kicked off their place, and look at guns, and it's like shit, all these rules, so people like mute it down, and it's safe to just be quiet. You just rock up, and you learn, just watch from the shadows. That guy didn't get shot, I'll do what he was doing. Is that right? Is that right? Society's not like a cult. I'm not creating a cult. I'm taking off the rules. I'm here to witness you guys. Do what you feel inside, that voice, that state, that energy, that being, that knowingness that is drowned out by the noise of media, drowned out by the noise of your friends whispering, gossiping, drowned out by your partner shouting at you, judging you, drowned out by yourself looking in the mirror with all these other voices which you're not taking on as your own. I'm here to rip that shit off and to stay with each one of you in stillness, watch it all come up, and just try and see you through it all. You. And when you're seeing, that's right, that's me. My crew are like wild and free. I tattooed it on my wrists, for the wild, for the free. This is what I live for. To enable people to reclaim that wilderness, to become undomesticated, to be completely liberated, expressive, feeling. It's not always going to be beautiful, sometimes it's going to be heart-wrenching, sometimes it's going to be smashed down. Fuck, what an amazing story. It's for that experience that we're here. We're in these little bodies, which can have goosebumps, which can be tasting, which can be wrapped in a hug. Enjoy it. Be willing to experience everything with complete detachment. Because after it all, you continue unaffected as you. Thank you.